External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj met her Bhutanese counterpart Bamcho Dorji in Kathmandu and assured support to Bhutan in its fight against China. Now, India directly stares back at the dragon, and in fact sources have told NewsX that the army has stepped up operational readiness in Doklam. The operational alertness is usual around the months of September to October, but it has been advanced in the eastern sector. Sources add that military alertness has been raised as a matter of concern.
We hope that the situation in Doklam will be resolved peacefully and amicably. We hope that the situation in Doklam will be resolved peacefully and amicably.
Remember, of course, this standoff between India and China has been taking place for over 8 weeks now. And in fact, now sources have told NewsX that the Indian Army has stepped up operational alertness in the Doklam area. Remember, China has been indulging in repeated provocations, has been making extremely provocative media statements. The Indian government, however, has been comparatively very restrained. However, in order to take no chances, the Indian Army has now stepped up operations. We'll go across now to some breaking news coming in. Well, NewsX accesses details of the Friday flag meeting between, in fact, the Chinese army has said that India must withdraw its troops. India has demanded to remove road construction equipment from the first site. Now, the next meeting between the Indian Army and the PLA is scheduled on the 15th of August. Going across to our Strategic Affairs editor, Ashish Singh, who joins us from the newsroom for more details on the story. Ashish, what are your sources saying on the same?
See, Vandana, what we have learned from our top sources in the Army headquarters is that the Major General rank officer meeting has taken place yesterday between the Indian Army and the Chinese Army around 25 to 30 kilometers away from Doklam, from Nathula Pass area, the exact location which has been the center point of the standoff that has been taking place between Indian and Chinese armies for the last couple of months. Now, this is one meeting in which the Indian and the Chinese side represented their view of the governments or of the army chiefs. Now, what the Chinese Army Major General rank officer or equivalent to that mentioned to Indian Army that India should withdraw its troops from Doklam. This is the final or the conclusion point that was expressed from the Chinese Army side to the Indian counterpart, whereas the Indian Army Major General rank officer has conveyed very clearly to the PLA Major General 2-star rank officer that first the Chinese Army must remove the road construction equipment from the site, which has basically been the near Doklam in the exact location where Chinese have started road construction, Chinese Army. So these are the 2 points that were expressed by the Chinese and the Army Major General rank officers yesterday respectively, and the meeting has ended inconclusive. Basically, neither of the side are ready to budge down, neither the Indian Army nor Chinese Army are ready to take a step back. This is not the first meeting which has, I would say, failed, which has ended without any conclusion. Around 3 days ago, on 8th August, there was another meeting, but that took place at the 1-star rank officer level, the brigade command level, between the Indian and Chinese Army. That meeting had also ended inconclusive, and that's the reason why it was escalated to 2-star rank officer, Major General or its equivalent rank officer, but that has again not been able to reach any conclusion between the Indian and the Chinese Army. So this is the status as far as the details of the Friday flag meeting that took place between Indian and Chinese Army. There is going to be a scheduled meeting, that's an annual affair, on 15th of August, that's India's Independence Day, when Indian and Chinese Army meet at a border post meeting point. These are routine and the pre-scheduled meetings, but what is worrying sign here is the Chinese Army has not yet confirmed that whether they will participate on the 15th August border post meeting between Indian and Chinese Army or not. Now, there are at least 4 to 5 different locations along the line of actual control where these meetings take place. First is DBO, the Daulat Beg Oldie, one of the highest airstrips in the world, the Chusul area in Ladakh, Bumla area in Arunachal Pradesh, Kibhitu area in Arunachal Pradesh, Nathula Pass in Sikkim. So these are the 5 different locations where the routine pre-scheduled meetings take place, but in this particular time, on 15th August, just 4 days from now, whether Chinese army will participate in this meeting, in the border post meeting or not, is something that has not been confirmed yet from the Chinese side. Vandana?
Right. Stay on with us, Ashish. Also joining us on the phone line is General G.D. Bakshi. Sir, we've accessed exclusive details of that Friday flag meeting between PLA officials and the Indian Army. However, talks have been inconclusive.
Well, I don't see anything else emerging at this stage, because initially the Chinese adopted a very aggressive posture. They had dug themselves into a hole, hoping that they would be able to scare off Bhutan. Bhutan has, of course, invoked the treaty, and India has, in response to the treaty obligation, intervened directly to also safeguard not only Bhutan, but its own very vital national security interests relating to the Siliguri corridor. Now, the fact of the matter is, as I understand, the traditional off alert that takes place in this season in September, when people go up and do up their, check out their defenses, that has been preponed. That's been preponed as a very abundant and sensible precaution.
See, General Bakshi, I just want to understand from you, for the benefit of our viewers, how routine is it for the Indian and the Chinese armies to escalate the matter to a 2-star rank officer level? What we have learned is that on 8th August, the brigade commander rank officer interaction between Indian and Chinese army failed, and that's why it was escalated yesterday to the major general rank officer. Is it a routine affair, or in considering the unprecedented circumstances between Indian and Chinese army along the line of actual control, it has now been raised to the major general rank officer?
Quite obviously, because the situation in Doklam is not at all normal.
Yep.
It is a most unprecedented kind of attempt to alter the status quo.
So what's the way forward, General Bakshi? What's the way forward from now, when we see one after the other meetings failing?
The way forward, as I see it, is only simple. Both sides withdraw to their original positions and get back to status quo.
But now the question comes down to who will blink first. The Indian armies, the question comes down to who will blink first. The Indian army demands from Chinese army that they must remove the construction equipment from the disputed site, where the Chinese army first demands that Indian army first remove their troops escalation along the line of actual control.
So why should we? We don't have to accede to every Chinese demand.
Yeah.
We are trying to safeguard what is a vital national interest, which we just cannot compromise or overlook. The security of the Siliguri corridor, the security of the Chicken's Neck area specifically, is not negotiable.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. We didn't start this. China, in violation of the agreement in 2012 that the tri-junction would be not decided unilaterally, but between the three countries together. And then they had two agreements with Bhutan, 1988, 1998, that the status quo will be maintained. So why have they violated the status quo?
Certainly, you have a point, General Bakshi, but you know, all along this 2-month-long escalation that has been going on, it appears more like it's a tussle between Indian and Chinese armies. But what is important here is to understand that the main cause is because of the Bhutan's presence. Indian government certainly wants to help Bhutan when it comes to aggression from the Chinese side in the disputed area, and the disputed area involves a tri-junction point as well. How crucial is Bhutan's inclination and the support either towards Chinese side or Indian side in this standoff between India and China?
Look, one thing that you don't understand about this thing, none of our people do, is that the Doklam plateau, you know, if they get their guns there, not only do they threaten the Siliguri corridor, they threaten the capital city of Thimphu and the airfield at Paro. They bring it under artillery range. What are you talking about? So Bhutan equally has its very vital interest involved. People just overlook this factor very lightly. It's not that the Bhutanese are trying to be very sacrificial lambs and trying to protect Indian interests. It is they are safeguarding first and foremost. They have to safeguard their own interests, and that is the security of their capital, the security of their only international airport.
Certainly. Thank you so much, General J.D. Bakshi. The Bhutan is a crucial country when it comes to the escalation between India and China at this point of time. Vandana, back to you.
The Chinese side will firstly engage in those pre-scheduled talks on the 15th of August, and hopefully there will be some resolution that will come out of it. But thank you, Ashish, as well as Major General J.D. Bakshi for joining us this morning.